Of course, marriage obviously is not for everyone. The last census found that nearly a third of the U.S. population has never been married. Family law attorney Laurence Greenberg joining us now to talk more about marriage, divorce, and the current trends. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Dina. Thanks for having me.
One of the things we've heard in the news recently is that the divorce rate, we've always kind of just throw it out, well, half of us get divorced. Do you have any sense of that from your work? Is the number going down?
You know, from my work in New York, which is, it's focused only on New York, I think the actual number of divorce filings is increased because about a year and a half ago, New York enacted a slew of new divorce laws which made it easier to get divorced. No-fault divorce laws. What many people don't realize is the vast majority of those laws related to alimony guidelines, child support modifications, and attorney's fees, and it's resulted in a lot of additional litigation.
So when we think about that, you're saying more people, you're seeing more divorces. But let's take it a step back, going off the story that Ann did. People also, are they not waiting longer to get married? So how does that affect, if that has any play, of the couples you're seeing? Older,
Definitely.
wiser?
Well, I don't know if they're I don't know if they're necessarily wiser. There was an interesting statistic from the U.S. Census Bureau that the divorce rate is much higher in the Bible Belt in the South than it is in the Northeast, and one of the main reasons for that is the number of people that get married at a younger age is much greater in the South than in the Northeast. So I think what we're experiencing is people getting married later, waiting, and those people that wait tend to have a much lower rate of divorce.
The issue of you're not happy with your spouse, you live apart for a long time, and you never get divorced. You finding that too? I mean, different types of separation agreements and whatnot that you have to deal with?
I think a lot of people are, because they believe that as a result of the economic climate, that people are holding off on getting divorced, which I think is accurate to a certain extent. But even though the divorce filings in certain areas may be going down, you're experiencing a lot more people living separately, but just not filing for divorce. So the statistics can be very misleading.
Sort of can't live with you, can't live without you.
Unfortunately.
Advice, Laurence? I mean, obviously, you make money off of people breaking up, but if you do find, I'm sorry, I just had to say it, if you do find you're heading down that path of divorce, what do you say to a couple? How do you prepare it so that you both come out as relatively unscathed as possible?
Well, first let me say that as a divorce lawyer who's happily married, it is capable, even if you're involved in the day-to-day of dealing with people's misery, to have a happy relationship. What I would say is that if you're going to get divorced, it's very important that you find an attorney who only handles divorce matters and not someone that might dabble in that area, and that prior to starting a divorce, that you get all the information available from that lawyer to determine in advance how much the costs are going to be, how long it will take, of course, most importantly, what impact it will have on the children, and whether or not there are alternatives to rushing off to court and litigating a case.
The children, that is so very important.
That's of paramount importance.
How they are affected, that's something they can live with for the rest of their lives, and they need the healthiest environment, of course, too, that it doesn't get all acrimonious.
Right, and what I try and counsel clients to do is, even if you are going through a divorce, a big no-no is involving the children. Aside from it being very harmful, it's something that is looked very poorly upon by the acting judges, especially in the city of New York, that I'm familiar with. So that's something that people should always remain focused on, keeping the children out of their dispute.
All right. Thank you so much, Laurence.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. Family law attorney Laurence Greenberg. We'll be right back.